Excellent. So moving on now to stage two, we've already spoken a little bit about stage one of the business development audit process. Stage two is business identity and personality. Peter, so just talk us through.
Yeah.
That.
Well, when you look at businesses in the SME construction sort of business space, the research that I've done over a number of years, that a lot of companies talk about themselves in the same way, and it's not either particularly distinctive or it's not really differentiated. It may well be that it is differentiated, but they just haven't articulated it to the audience. So, for instance, I worked with a practice recently who said that they're design led, and I know what that means, and they know what that means, but in reality, that's not overly distinctive or differentiated, because a lot of practices would say that about themselves. Yes. So, in terms of of that process, again, I go back to this Simon Sinek idea of the just cause, and try and get people to articulate why they're doing what they're doing. What is the purpose of the business? And it's something that has to sit just beyond the organization itself. So it has to be a meaningful cause, something that's infinite, something that's inclusive, something that's idealistic. It's got something that's real and will resonate with lots of people outside the organization, with clients. So it could be something to do with sustainability or technology, for example. But you've got to try and build a brand which actually stands out, because there's a lot of kind of Me Too statements on people's websites and through social media. So if you can create something distinctive and differentiation. So, for example, something distinctive is kind of what people recognize you for, like a distinctive name or a distinctive logo. That's the distinctive part. The differentiation is kind of what's different about your value proposition to the client. And that's really based out of a strong level of customer insight. Going back to the business model section, it's about getting that strategic insight from the customer and repurposing it into your messaging. So one of the things I do, for example, an increasing level of customer satisfaction surveys to try and help my clients understand what their clients think about them, gain testimonials and use that as social proof in the process. I think one of my favorite quotes is from Jeff Bezos at Amazon, who, when asked about how would he describe his brand, I think his quote was, "It's what people say about us when we're not in the room." So it's absolutely vital that you understand what people are saying about you, and what that means to your business to make yourself different.
I've heard that quote before from Christelle, our own head of brand, and it does resonate, doesn't it? So stage two, again, similar question to stage one, the business model. So stage two, business identity and personality. So how do you approach this stage again with the business? So what's your approach, but also how involved you get? Because you talked about quite a few things there. You talked about brand, you talked about essentially values, you talked about mission statement, you talked about customer value proposition. So there's a lot there, isn't there? So what's the business owner, the directors, the senior management team going to get from you on this particular stage of the process?
Well, it's that age-old question, which is always tough to ask and tough to answer. And it's a bit like asking an owner to define the business model. If you ask an owner and the senior management team, what's different about your business, there's quite a few things that they'll say, but they won't actually be different from competitors. So what I'm finding is that they haven't really nailed that real distinctive and differentiated proposition, which is you need to spend time. This stuff isn't easy. It's quite hard, but if you get it right, it can work. It can work for you, and that's the point. So I try and sort of push people to actually come with something that's really distinctive, differentiated about their business, and to move away from the generic statements that other people make.
Yeah, and that's what you're okay. That's clear now, and I suppose the business will then benefit from how many years of experience you've got in terms of in terms of having similar conversations with other businesses. So you said you very much probe and push to really understand what their values, what their differentiators, what their value proposition is. And
yes, of course, because the whole point of this audit process is to sense check how people are doing things, but also to help them make improvements and to elevate themselves from their competitors. And in the SME, construction sector, obviously business have lots of competitors.
Yeah.
So it's important that they, pay more credence to, differentiating what they're about.
Okay, thank you.